The unexpected. You know, the Lord loves to surprise us. I met a gentleman on my way to the doctor. We ended up talking, and a few hours later, we ended up having lunch and walking. And as we did, met many people along the way. And interestingly enough, you never know, the people that you're talking to you think are the object or the focus. And it turns out it's someone else on the sideline who's tuning in and listening. One of those someone else who happened to be listening invited me to meet their family. And it reminded me when I was in France, when I was preaching, sharing, talking, just having conversations on the street. And I met a student from the University of Nice. And he asked to walk with me. I didn't ask to walk with him. He asked to walk with me. He came back the next day and walked with me. Not a Christian, not a believer. And next thing you know, it was not long after that his life began to change, he said. And his parents were anti-faith. And in France, Christianity is considered a cult. And his parents hated the fact that he was hanging out with an American, especially an American Christian. They weren't racist about color, but they were religiously discriminative about Christians and about Americans. And he was telling me how his parents hated that he was hanging out with this American that was in his country, much less a Christian American. And that it wasn't long after that I gave him some advice how to deal with his mother. He was in constant confrontation with his mother. And I gave him some advice, told him what to do. And a little bit after that, maybe a few weeks after that, his mother invited me to dinner. I said, I thought she hated me, American Christian, interfering with her secular French son at the university. He goes, my mother is amazed at the changes in my life, the way I act towards her, the way I talk towards her. She's so, my mother, my father, my sister, they all want to make a dinner. They want to make a dinner. They want to meet you because she's never seen such a change in me, she said, like this. And they went from anti-Christian and anti-American. I came to the house. The house was in Antibes, in between Nice and the famous city of the Cannes Film Festival. And I've never been treated better, never by Christians, never by anybody in a church. People who've known me for years, never been treated better by these French parents, not church people, not religious. And they literally rolled out the red carpet for me into their very beautiful home. 5-course meal. They treated me as if the ambassador of the United States was coming to eat with them. And it was amazing. The sister had a gift for me. She was a student in the university and she was an artist. She painted a gift for me. The father had a gift for me. The mother was just goggling with her eyes of admiration towards me. And they went on to explain to me, they go, you are the only person who's had such a positive effect on our son. And it changed the entire relationship in the family. And we just wanted to say thank you to you. And never had a better meal. Never was treated with more honor in my life by anyone other than Guy Cohen in Israel. And it was a secular French family. They would go on to visit the United States twice, once just to come to see me. Amazing. You never know who's going to appreciate you, who's really going to honor you. Such was the other day at this restaurant. I was invited, not by the Christian, by the non-Christian, the family. Wonderful opportunity. Wanted to hear me talk, asked me lots of questions. I answered. Be aware that it's not the ones that say they believe. You're going to be quite surprised who God uses. And don't be surprised by the ones, as David said, that I read the scripture with, I went up to the temple with, we worshiped, we sang together. That's the one that'll more likely stab you in the back, abandon you, and throw you away every time. But God never does. He has a ram in a bush. May not be a Bible believer that he uses. It'll be simply a servant of God.